I just have to sing the praises of this Toyota Prius. I really think it's one of the best cars you can get in the used market. It's just so good. And the thing is, a lot of people think that because you're a car guy, that you cannot like a Toyota Prius. It's like motorcycle riders that think that as a motorcycle rider, the only bike that's deserving of your attention are sport bikes. If you ride a scooter, then you don't have any passion. And I think that's the same mentality that they have for the Prius when it comes to cars. But man, this car is just so useful. And there's something incredibly beautiful about the car that you can drive every single day and you can get 50 miles to the gallon, and it's capable of hitting like 500,000 miles. And because of the hatchback style, you can fit tons of things in here. I have car camp, for example, on this car with 2 people and my dog Sophie. It's an incredible flexible system that the Toyota Prius is. It's been an excellent car because it does everything I want. And I think a lot of people, because of the Toyota Prius name, they somehow are embarrassed to drive it. Man, I love it. I love the Prius. It's the best car. You know, a lot of cars are they deserve a better reputation when it comes to the name. I think Toyota makes amazingly reliable cars, and I think one of the reasons they make extremely reliable cars is because they're durable. They engineer things very, very conservatively. They don't go out of their way to make things different for the sake of being different. We're about to step into the Capital Beltway of Washington, D.C. Pre-COVID, this used to be traffic everywhere. Now, you can pretty much guarantee that there's not going to be any major backups unless there's an accident. 2006. So this is a 2006 Toyota Prius. This is the 2nd generation. But it's so capable. You know, you can drive this thing every single day to work. Absolutely every single day. And it used to be that people were afraid of the hybrid system. When the Toyota Prius first came out, everybody thought, oh yeah, the Toyota battery is just way too expensive. It offsets the cost of buying a cheap Econo box. And I think that was the scare before we got used to hybrids. And now hybrids are extremely reliable. We do realize that, yeah, these Prius engines do fail, but they fail in a very simple way. And I've seen a lot of these cars with 300,000 miles on the original battery. The thing to keep in mind is that generally, and this is a generalization, 300,000 miles or 10 years is what the main battery is good for. But most of the time, they exceed that because they're so well engineered. When you consider the Honda Insight, every Honda Insight from the early years of Toyota, the batteries are completely dead. They're very difficult to get. The batteries are extremely expensive. And for the Toyota Prius, you can get a refurbished battery for less than $1,000. And there's a lot of businesses now, because the Toyota Prius is such a high volume sold car, that they do make batteries for it, and they do make reliable batteries for it. So you don't have to worry about the battery dying, because you can always get a new battery. The things you have to watch out with the Prius is the general things. Sometimes the speedometer will stop working, and if that's something that happens, you're gonna have to remove the entire thing. And I believe there's the cooler for the battery, that if you don't replace that, it could have a issue. find that these Toyota Priuses in cities fetch for quite a bit of money, and they always have tons of miles on them, and there's always a demand for them. The Prius, though, when I rode cross country several times, very few Priuses in the Midwest. I guess people in the countryside and in farms are not into the Prius life, but if you live where I live, Washington DC, you'll appreciate the high efficiency that the Prius provides you. It's something that, this is a 15-year-old car. I mean, that's incredible that it's still on the road, but of course it's still on the road. It's an incredibly reliable Toyota, and it moves pretty well. It's not a fast car, but that's the thing. You don't get a Prius for driving fast, and I think that's one of the reasons that car guys bash the Prius, because it's not a fast car. But that's not the point of the Prius. The Prius is bought by people who have a rational decision to make. They want a car that doesn't break down, that's got Toyota reliability, that's durable, efficient, they can drive it to work, and then on the weekends they can drive it everywhere else. That's why these hybrid systems are still relevant in the world of Tesla. You know, Tesla on paper sounds great. I would love to have a Tesla. But when it comes to reliability, they have some major issues that people sweep under the rug. They're taking a page from Apple. Everything that Tesla makes, you have to go through the dealer. You have to get dealers to install things. You know, there's updates. It's very much like how Apple is doing things. And I think Toyota, their business model, even from the very start of their history, was they were designing for a very long term. They were looking at things in the future. So when you look at Toyotas, they don't make improvements like the American manufacturers. They make small improvements. They take an engine that's proven and they make it better. They're not always redesigning an engine. And one of the issues that I find with American makers is that they're always releasing new engines, and I think they do it because they need to make money. You know, the Corvette's engine, now it's a mid-engine, and the reason for that, it's not because the old engine was bad, it's because they wanted to sell more Corvettes. And by having a mid-engine, it creates quite a bit of a stir in marketing. But I really find that Toyota's model of making durable, reliable cars is much more important than the quick fix of having a new engine put out and then having tons of issues. I like that much more. And that's why I think Toyota makes the best cars. They don't make the most exciting cars, they make the best cars, and that's a big difference. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next video.